What makes a band legendary? What elevates a group of musicians from mere performers to cultural icons? Is it the number of records sold, the size of the crowds they draw, or something far more profound? It's about impact, changing the very fabric of music. It's about leaving an indelible mark on the landscape of sound, influencing generations of artists to come. It's about creating a legacy that resonates long after the final note has faded. When we talk about bands that redefined a genre, Metallica is always at the top. They didn't just play metal, they forged a new path, a sonic assault that combined speed, precision, and raw power. For over 4 decades, they've been the kings of metal, reigning supreme with their innovative sound and unwavering dedication to their craft. They've weathered storms, overcome obstacles, and emerged stronger than ever, solidifying their place in music history, inspiring millions of guitarists with their riffs, solos, and song structures. Aspiring musicians around the globe have picked up their instruments, driven by the desire to emulate the energy and technical prowess of Metallica's guitarists. Metallica's genius lies in their songwriting, a potent blend of musical complexity and lyrical depth that speaks to the human condition. Hetfield's complex, memorable riffs form the backbone of Metallica's sound, providing the foundation for their sonic architecture. His ability to craft riffs that are both technically challenging and instantly recognizable is a testament to his skill as a songwriter. Hammett's storytelling solos soar above the rhythm section, adding layers of emotion and virtuosity to the music. Each solo is a journey, a narrative told through bends, sweeps, and blistering speed, and dynamic shifts that build tension and release. Metallica's mastery of dynamics is what sets them apart, creating a roller coaster of sound that keeps listeners on the edge of their seats. They fused the new wave of British heavy metal with punk aggression, creating a sound that was both technically proficient and raw with energy. Creating thrash metal, a genre defined by its speed, aggression, and technical complexity, and then kept rewriting the rules. They refused to be confined by genre conventions, constantly pushing the boundaries of what metal could be. In this deep dive, we'll dissect Metallica's songwriting from a guitarist's perspective. We'll explore the techniques, the theories, and the creative choices that have made them one of the most influential bands of all time. We'll break down iconic tracks, dissecting the individual components that make them so powerful and memorable. Explore their keys, uncovering the secrets behind their harmonic choices, modes, and how they use them to create unique and distinctive melodies and tempos, analyzing how their rhythmic variations contribute to the overall impact of their music, and see how their sound evolved through triumph and tragedy. We'll trace their journey from their early days in the underground metal scene to their current status as global superstars. This isn't just a history lesson, it's a practical guide for aspiring musicians. It's a roadmap for guitarists who want to understand what makes Metallica tick and how they can apply those same principles to their own songwriting. We'll cover the tools of the trade, the essential techniques and concepts that every metal guitarist should know. E minor, a fundamental chord in metal music. Aeolian and Phrygian modes exploring their dark and evocative qualities. Palm-muted downstrokes, a technique that adds aggression and punch to your riffs. And themes of alienation and rage. We'll delve into the lyrical content of Metallica's songs, exploring the themes that resonate with their audience. By the end, you'll have a practical guide to crafting your own metal anthems, inspired by the masters. You'll be equipped with the knowledge and skills to write riffs, solos, and songs that capture the spirit of Metallica. Grab your guitar, let's get started. It's time to unlock the secrets of Metallica's songwriting and unleash your own metal creativity. The saga of Metallica, a name synonymous with heavy metal innovation, begins in the vibrant, sun-soaked city of Los Angeles in 1981. It's a story of ambition, raw talent, and the relentless pursuit of a sound that would redefine a genre. It was then that the paths of Lars Ulrich, a young ambitious drummer with a vision, and James Hetfield, a rhythm guitarist and vocalist with a powerful stage presence, fatefully crossed, leading them to join forces in Los Angeles. This initial meeting sparked the genesis of what would become a metal institution. Their musical DNA was heavily influenced and fueled by a shared love for the British heavy metal band Diamond Head, pioneers of the new wave of British heavy metal movement. The raw energy and rebellious spirit of Motorhead, with Lemmy Kilmister's iconic snarl and thunderous bass, also resonated deeply with the duo. And the intricate arrangements and soaring vocals of Iron Maiden, fronted by the charismatic Bruce Dickinson, further shaped their musical aspirations. Inspired by these titans of metal, they harbored a burning desire to push the boundaries of the genre, to play music that was not only heavy but also faster, more aggressive, and more technically demanding than anything that had come before. The lineup solidified with the addition of Dave Mustaine, a fiery and exceptionally talented lead guitarist, and Cliff Burton, a bassist whose melodic and innovative approach to the instrument set him apart. Together, these four musicians became the architects of a revolutionary sound, a sonic assault that would challenge the status quo and redefine the landscape of heavy metal. They were not just a band, they were a force of nature, ready to unleash their musical fury upon the world. Their 1983 debut album, Kill 'Em All, was a declaration of war, a sonic manifesto that announced the arrival of a new force in heavy metal. The album's sound was undeniably raw and fast, a relentless barrage of speed and aggression that captured the energy of their live performances. Standout tracks like Seek and Destroy became instant classics, showcasing Hetfield's signature down-picking rhythm guitar style, a technique that provided the backbone for their powerful sound. The album also highlighted Mustaine's ferocity on lead guitar, his solos a whirlwind of speed and aggression that perfectly complemented Hetfield's rhythm playing. But it was Cliff Burton's arrival that truly elevated their sound, bringing a new dimension of harmony and melody to their music, transforming the role of the bass in heavy metal. This newfound musical depth was further explored and refined on their subsequent albums, most notably Ride the Lightning, which showcased their growing songwriting prowess and willingness to experiment. And then came Master of Puppets, a true masterpiece that cemented their status as one of the most important and influential metal bands of all time. However, tragedy struck in 1986, casting a dark shadow over the band's meteoric rise. During a European tour, Cliff Burton tragically died in a bus accident, a devastating loss that shook the band to its core. Despite the immense grief and uncertainty, the band made the courageous decision to press on, honoring Burton's memory by continuing to create the music they loved. Channeling their grief and anger into their music, they released And Justice for All, an album that reflected the darkness and complexity of their emotions. It was a dark and incredibly complex album, filled with intricate arrangements and thought-provoking lyrics. The album's production was controversial, with many criticizing the decision to mix out the bass guitar, a move that remains a point of contention among fans to this day. Despite the production issues, the album's exceptional musicianship shone through, showcasing the band's technical prowess and songwriting abilities. Then came the Black Album in 1991, a watershed moment in the band's career. This album marked a significant shift in their sound, moving towards a more streamlined and accessible approach that broadened their appeal to a wider audience. The Black Album catapulted them to unprecedented levels of superstardom, transforming them from a metal band into a global phenomenon. Throughout their long and storied career, Metallica has weathered numerous lineup changes, each transition presenting its own set of challenges and opportunities. From the departure of Dave Mustaine and the arrival of Kirk Hammett, a guitarist known for his melodic solos and blues-inspired playing, to the bass duties being passed from Jason Newsted to Robert Trujillo, each new member has brought their unique talents and perspectives to the band. But through all the changes, the guitar has remained the unwavering foundation of Metallica's sound, the driving force behind their music. Hetfield's unwavering precision and powerful rhythm playing, coupled with Hammett's soaring solos and masterful use of the wah pedal, are the twin pillars upon which Metallica's empire has been built, the defining characteristics of their signature sound. Their musical journey has taken them through the realms of raw thrash metal, the blues rock influences that subtly permeate their music, and the modern aggression that continues to fuel their creativity. But no matter the style or era, the guitar has always been at the forefront, leading the charge and defining the Metallica sound. Metallica's evolution is a testament to their relentless creativity, their unwavering commitment to pushing boundaries, and their enduring love for the power and versatility of the guitar. The Four Horsemen from is a blueprint for early thrash. It's fast, about 172 BPM, with a main riff built on the open E string, all about palm-muted aggression. The song's in E minor, but chromaticism and the tritone give it that classic metal edge. Hetfield's right hand delivers relentless 16th notes locking in with Ulrich's drumming for unstoppable momentum. The structure is ambitious, shifting through multiple sections and tempos. The melodic middle section in C major nods to Thin Lizzy, showing their range even early on. Dynamic shifts make the return to thrash even more powerful. For guitarists, it's a lesson in building epic songs from simple, powerful riffs and smart dynamics. The Four Horsemen solos showcase two sides of Kirk Hammett. The first solo is pure chaos. E minor pentatonic, chromatic runs and aggressive phrasing, all about energy. Hammett uses bends, vibrato and whammy bar dive bombs, pushing classic techniques to the extreme. The second solo, over the C major section, is melodic and harmonized, showing his versatility. Here, Hammett crafts phrases that follow the chords, borrowing from Iron Maiden's harmonized leads. The contrast between solos teaches a key lesson. Serve the song's emotion, not just technical skill. Aggression and melody can coexist, each heightening the other. For guitarists, it's about context, when to unleash chaos, and when to build melody. The Four Horsemen proves a great solo as part of the song's journey. Master both sides and you'll elevate your own playing. Metallica's songwriting had evolved into dynamic storytelling. One is a masterclass, starting with a haunting, clean intro in B minor and G major, building tension and atmosphere. The tempo gradually accelerates, mirroring the protagonist's descent into panic. Distorted riffs in the iconic machine gun section ramp up the intensity, using rhythm to evoke chaos. The final section explodes into thrash, with relentless downpicking and double bass drumming. The song's structure takes listeners from despair to rage, using dynamics and tempo as narrative tools. One proved metal could be more than loud and fast. It could tell profound stories. For songwriters, it's a lesson in using every musical element to serve the narrative. The solos in one are a journey in themselves. The first solo, over clean arpeggios, is lyrical and expressive. Long notes, heavy vibrato, pure emotion. The second solo ups the aggression with frantic phrasing and dissonant notes reflecting growing panic. The final solo is iconic, a two-handed tapping barrage, matching the song's machine gun intensity. Hammett uses B minor arpeggios, moving rapidly up and down the neck. Each solo escalates the emotional stakes, mirroring the song's narrative arc. Together they tell a story, from despair to chaos to fury. The lesson solos should extend the song's emotion, not just showcase technique. Build your solos with a beginning, middle and end. Let them serve the song's journey. One is the ultimate example of narrative soloing. The Black Album's Enter Sandman, a song that needs no introduction yet demands exploration. It changed everything: the sound, the scope, the sheer reach of Metallica. It propelled them to a level of superstardom few bands ever achieve. Built on one of the most iconic riffs ever, a riff so instantly recognizable, it's become a part of the cultural lexicon. It's slower and more direct. 123 BPM, a deliberate move away from the band's thrash metal roots. Designed for stadiums. A sonic landscape crafted to fill the largest venues on the planet. The riff in E minor with a Dorian twist gives it a haunting, almost medieval quality. It uses the tritone, that devil's interval, for a dark, ominous vibe that lingers in the air. Clean, chorused guitars set the suspense, creating a sense of anticipation before the storm, before the full band explodes in, unleashing a torrent of raw power and energy. Hetfield's massive, layered tone, a wall of sound that's both crushing and articulate, and tight rhythm drive the song's groove, locking in with the drums to create an irresistible pulse. The structure is classic verse-chorus, making it instantly accessible even to listeners unfamiliar with heavy metal. The focus is on groove and power, not speed, a testament to the band's evolving songwriting approach. Hammett's solo is melodic and wah-heavy, adding a layer of emotion and expression to the song, serving the song rather than showing off, a masterclass in tasteful guitar playing. The solo builds to a controlled climax, never losing sight of the song's overall structure and feel. Always in service of the riff, the driving force behind the entire song. Enter Sandman is a lesson in musical economy, demonstrating how much can be achieved with relatively few elements. One perfect riff can conquer the world, becoming an anthem for generations of music fans. Sometimes, less is more. A principle that applies to songwriting, arranging, and even life itself. For guitarists, it's about writing hooks that stick, melodies that resonate, and riffs that become instantly recognizable. Simplicity, groove, the fundamental building blocks of great rock and roll, and tone are king, the sonic signature that defines a guitarist's individual voice. In 2023, Metallica's proves they're still pushing boundaries. The title track is a 7-minute thrash epic. 195 BPM, complex riffs and relentless downpicking. It's pure thrash, rooted in E minor, with syncopated riffs and intricate passages. The structure recalls their classic long-form songwriting but with modern clarity and raw energy. Hammett's solo is wah-drenched and explosive, blending melody and chaos. The song fuses their past and present speed and complexity from the 80s, melody from the 90s, and the fire of a band with something to prove. For guitarists, it's proof you can evolve without losing your edge. Keep pushing, keep shredding. Metallica's fire still burns. Metallica's sound evolved with every lineup change. Mustaine's early riffs were complex and aggressive. Hammett brought bluesy melodic solos. Cliff Burton's influence was huge. He introduced harmony, counterpoint, and dynamics, pushing the band's songwriting. His death in 1986 forced the band to adapt, leading to the technical basslight. Jason Newsted brought power, but had limited creative input. His era was rhythm-focused and tight. Robert Trujillo's arrival in 2003 added groove and fingerstyle funk, locking the rhythm section tighter than ever. Each change pushed Metallica in new directions, forcing reinvention. Through it all, Hetfield and Ulrich's chemistry kept the band thriving. The result, a sound that's always evolving, never static. For musicians, it's proof that change can fuel creativity. Adaptation is key to longevity. Want to write your own Metallica-inspired song? Start with E minor. The open-low E string is your foundation. Use the E Phrygian mode for dark, thrashy riffs and E Aeolian for melody. For solos, lean on the E minor pentatonic and blues scales. Add the flat fifth for grit. Thrash tempos live between 170–220 BPM. For groove, slow it to 120–135 BPM. Build dynamics, clean intros, then unleash distortion. Structure your song like a story with peaks and valleys. Lyrically, explore themes of war, alienation, and inner struggle. Match the music's intensity. Combine these elements for a true Metallica vibe. Now go write some riffs. If you enjoyed this breakdown, like and subscribe for more. Let us know in the comments which band to analyze next. Thanks for watching. Keep shredding. Metallica's legacy is yours to build on.